Everybody out there on White Street, you already know what it is. Salute everybody.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. We got another scorecard reaction for y'all, and you already know what it is. Let's get it. Alright, you guys been waiting on this. Show them camp. We put out a poll. I put out a poll. I asked you guys which one you wanted me to do between the series. Almost unanimously, we had everybody vote for 4. I think it was like 50%, and the next highest one had 20% to it. So this is the one we're starting with. I'm going to break this into 2 different videos for you guys. It's 14 tracks, so we'll do 7 and 7. However, you get cheated on the first video because we're only going to do 6. Being as how I have Savage already up with its own individual reaction to it. Make sure you guys go check that out. I did include the score. So the score itself on my channel got 100 out of 100. So since on the album reviews we only do it out of 10, no brainer, I gave it a 10 out of 10 just so that it's still added into the calculations when we're going to score it overall. Makes sense? For those of you who've been around for a while, we've also already listened to Respect, Loyalty, and Honor. However, it was in the middle of a 2-hour live stream that we did, and I don't remember how much I liked or disliked it to give it a score, and I also can't really point you to like the exact stream or timestamp to it, so I said fuck it, we're just going to include that in with the first video. I didn't want to short you on 2 songs on the same video, you know, so we're going to go over that as well. But for transparency purposes, I have heard it already. It's not going to be a first time reaction, it'll be a second time reaction. Anything else to go over? Nope, that's it. Do me a favor. Run the gauntlet. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Little bell notification guy. Come on, we almost at 20K. We're so close to 20K, guys. Help me out. Hit that button. Hit the share button. Don't put no fucking hashtag GS gang down in the comments if you ain't fucking subscribed and helping us push to 20K. I'll tell you that right now. Alright, let's get it. First one up, Center of Excellence. Also, there's probably a decent chance that this is going to get blocked, which kind of irritates me, but these are all on Vivo. And I just have a bad history of Vivo shit getting blocked, so hopefully you guys are able to see this with no complications, and I'll leave it at that. If my energy seems off a little bit today, it's because I am recovering from being sick. I wanted to get this to you guys Saturday, but I was not able to because I was sick. So we here now. Alright, enough with the disclosures. Show them camp. Center of Excellence. Intro. Let's get it.
Welcome to the 234, come and do the tour, nigga, it's a hub spot. Harvard Business School for fraud, niggas, we alumni. Super Eagles 94, nigga, like I want that. Ballin' out of Silver Forks, nigga, fuck a lock back. Do 'em like a coach out with the Lego vac. This fake Henny will have you seeing interstellar nebula. Church is open regular, come get your life saved. But you won't be making heaven till you get your ties straight. Only recognize yet if you talking about that burner, boy. Go talk with have these herds, man, plotting murders, boy. Rats is fertile, boy. And nobody sowing seeds, but we burning those trees like just not my soul, please. All a nigga want is cheese in this rat race. Whistle blowing till legit career, get your facts straight.
Alright, we're about almost a minute in. First track for an intro. I think they're setting a tone for you, right? This is not pop feeling at all. You have a very, very kind of like underground, gritty hip hop vibe to it. I like the tone that's being set to it. We're not trying to do nothing melodic. We got some kind of almost kind of like an old school cadence going on to it. But we do have enough interweaving rhyme schemes here to where it doesn't sound like, it doesn't got that kind of like nursery rhyme that a lot of the old school hip hop has. You know what I'm saying? Like they still feel like they're doing the old school vibes, but they definitely got a new school spin on it.
Now my soul, please. All a nigga want is cheese in this rat race. Whistle blowing till legit career, get your facts straight. 24 hats with the gold math, symbolize my hustle. Every moment here's a Kodak, picture of my struggle in this.
There goes everything I just said. I should have waited fucking 10 more seconds. There goes everything I just said about them not like hitting on the melodic stuff. There's a huge contrast between the verse here and the catchiness of the hook. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna wait till it hits a second time to see how I feel about it. The contrast is there with normally in music theory is good for pulling your attention. The first verse was very, very monotone, so it's easy. A lot of the stuff is just gonna go over your head because you get caught up in the actual rhythm of the rhyme scheme because of how dope it was. But it's a huge, huge, huge contrast coming into this hook. It's a little jarring.
Symbolize my hustle every moment, here's a Kodak. Picture of my struggle in this.
Since Clone Wars 3, I've been impatient. Too much palm wine will cause intoxication. I just try to give my guys some motivation, but they said they wanted balance, needed something to relate with. So these here times where boys have been chasing, and even babes hustling harder trying to see greatness, where money's still the motive, but it's hard to keep racing on this autobahn with potholes that swallow up the lost souls. And God knows that I pay
on this autobahn with potholes to swallow up the lost soul. Come on, let's go.
See greatness where money's still the motive, but it's hard to keep racing on this autobahn with potholes that swallow up the lost souls. And God knows that I paid my tithe. It was God and not religion that just saved my life. In this Lagos where tank, I might just take that right. No time to call your loved ones or just say bye-bye. Where the pie is harder than guys in times of strife, where we only got whiz kids to shine that light. I swear these days I don't have the time to write. It's only money in my line of sight. That's what it does to you.
The transition, I think the transition from the second verse into the hook felt a lot, but the second verse in general just felt a lot better with this flow. It felt like he was floating on it a lot more. Generally, I do prefer Ghost's like kind of like just intricacy so far from the shit that I've seen, but nah, the second verse into the hook felt a lot better. The levity of his voice didn't seem as jarring going into the hook. Also could have to do with like, now you're aware of it, right? So the first time the hook is coming, it's kind of like slapping you out of nowhere, so you're not really prepared for it. By the time the second one comes around, you kind of already know that it's coming into it. But now that second verse was just fucking heavy. Shout out to we got shout outs to Burner Boy and WizKid on this. You gotta respect it, right? I still haven't dug into either of them on the channel. Let me know if you guys want that. I believe it's not hip hop, right? That's more like Afrobeat or some shit like that. So let me know if there's anything from those artists you guys want to see on the channel. The classic drop was ill. That was an ill drop.
Jungle life, that's how we live. Everybody's a Tarzan, it's just what it is. Everything will come at you, just bob and weave until you leave. I live in jungle life. Everybody's a Tarzan. Everything will come at you until you leave.
Interesting artistic direction to go with like the scratched out sample into the end. I definitely prefer that over the people who just like talk at the end. This is definitely still, it doesn't like kill the vibe. What are we feeling about this? Drop them in the comments. 1 to 10. What are you guys feeling for this? To be honest with you, I'm probably hitting right around 6. This is like a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know that there's a good cohesion between the first verse, the second verse, the hook, and then the sample scratch out towards the end. I don't know that this is one that I would necessarily revisit voluntarily. Like, I think it's good in the mix, like listening to it as a little like warm up. Going into Savage is weird. That's a weird end into something as hard as Savage is. So I don't know that the placement of that is 100% on point, doing them any favors. 6 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. 6 out of 10. Next would have been Savage. 10 out of 10. Fantastic track. Everybody kind of showed their ass on it. I don't have a single critique. Everything was super cohesive. Everybody played their part. Probably one of my favorite songs out of Nigeria, period, to this point. So now we go to Respect, Loyalty, and Honor. Let's get it. Technically, second time hearing this.
Yeah. Rules to this shit. Code.
Respect, then it's gotta be.
Respect, loyalty, and honor. rules that we play by. Know the streets watching, so we move below radar. Hard times help us learn to master the chaos. Separate the real from the fake since I was yay high. Don't
Oh, this is my shit. I don't remember listening to it. I know that we did it, but like I feel like I would have geeked about that a little bit harder. Chill, bring that back. Bring that back. This is that talk my language type shit. Let's go. Oh my god. And this is so fucking hard following up Savage with this.
Yeah. Rules to this shit. Code.
Respect and it's gotta be.
Respect, loyalty, and honor. Rules that we play by. Know the streets watching, so we move below radar. Harsh times help us learn to master the chaos. Separate the real from the fake since I was yay high. Don't joke with my money, if you owe me, better pay guys. Bang, bang, my nigga, yeah, that's a known trademark. You don't want it. It's concrete jungle, we rose from it. Yeah, respect, loyalty, and honor.
There's play on that too. There's play on that too. There's the rose in the concrete, but also we rose from it. Like, that was such a low-key bar. That was such a low... I guarantee that went over a lot of people's heads. That was ill as shit. He was so smooth. It was so low-key.
Trademark, you don't want it. It's concrete jungle, we rose from it.
Ah!
Yeah, respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. So you need. Respect, loyalty, and honor.
Moments like this are what I live for. I've tasted success and now I need more. I'm simply trying to elevate my truth, trying to live my best life, trying to bring my niggas through. I'm feeling like NATO with no aid, Guinea big deal. Impending success is hard to sit still. And if the convo's not about money, my guy is lip sealed. And if the pie stack like a knife, my guy is tip drill. God complex, I'm like, who sent me? I'm trying to taste plenty like I'm Jude in the Bentley. I don't care if they friendly or the wave is not as friendly, but the locker bars are starting to offend me. For real, I'm hoping that the next generation will take notes. We always kept it real with the verses, we scapegoats for our generation. Our whole movement's about dedication. VAR to the game, I'm the change, I'm the elevation.
What I like about this is it's not as gritty as what we heard in the beginning as the intro, right? But it's still real. Like part of like that whole like, yo, I've been keeping this code. This has been my code since I was yay high. Like that whole vibe, it doesn't just apply to street shit. It doesn't have to be gritty. You have him coming in talking on some positive shit. Talking on some like, yo, we want to give this information with the next generation. We want to make sure that they're coming up right on the right shit. And like, that's the same, like thematically, as far as the theme goes, that's the same shit that they're talking about. Whether it sounds gritty or whether it sounds educational, it's the same principle. I like that. I like that. It doesn't always have to be on some rah-rah hood shit for it to be thematic, for it to still be respect, loyalty, and honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that.
Generation, our whole movement's about dedication. VAR to the game, I'm the change, I'm the elevation. And if they check the catalog, they see what matadors to the BS. And BS when we vex is man down. Our whole spot's responsible for the camp sound. The whole studio looking at me like, tech, calm down. Our Legos come through, give you the plan now.
So make us stand down.
Matadors to the BS is an amazing, amazing imagery. I like that.
Loyalty and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. So you need.
Respect, loyalty, and
What's your vibe on this, right? This is kind of like dark room, smoky room music. This is like it's very relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're talking some real shit, but it's also like the mood. What's the mood? I see like dark room, smoking, sitting back, maybe like playing a game or some shit like that, and just kind of like vibing out to it.
honor. I saw the track title started cracking up like leaky ceilings. These are things that Lagos guys are lacking of. They say they love you when you stacking up, but the boys surrounding niggas with drive and never backing up what they say. Loyalty promises I received by the dozen. Told me they'll be there when I needed them, but they wasn't. Into upcoming traffic they shoved in. But wasn't you the same niggas just saying you loved them? I'm cut from a different cloth for finer fabric. Wanna see my niggas get green and grow, this shit is aggro. Niggas who rose leave you with Jack when you crash. Yo, that's the best bar about the Titanic. Applause. I look at SDC and I get envious. Thought me and my team will be together for millennia. Talk to God and ask him why my path has been so strenuous. He said that they can leave you, they will never leave you penniless. Treacherous waters the way you're meant to swim in. There's no loyal guys, there's no loyal woman, damn. Out here shit is...
I think they're doing a little bit too much on the ad-libs. This is MI, right? He's doing a little bit too much on the ad-libs for me, as far as just like sonically pleasing goes. But he's cooking as far as the verse goes.
Savage for the cabbage. Only trust yourself. It's an adage to help you manage.
Loyalty, and honor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. So you need respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor. Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor.
The more it goes on, he keeps sounding like Pac on the hook.
Yeah. Respect, loyalty, and honor.
Alright, you know the drill. What do you guys got? What do you guys got at 10? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Not as good as Savage, better than Center of Excellence. That's where I'm at. Really the worst thing about the song was the ad-libs was just super oversaturating the ad-libs, kind of like made for a little bit of bad music theory for me. Sonically wasn't pleasing. Bar-wise, message-wise, lyrically, this shit was dope. Vibe-wise, I liked it. I'm thinking 8. Maybe 8.5 if you press me. Maybe an 8.5 if you press me. I'm going to leave it at an 8 for now. I'll come back to it. I'm feeling an 8. I feel like it was a solid 8. Alright. Dwayne?
I don't think we realize what this crazy place does to our psyche, man, you know? Like, and we don't even have any outlets to talk. Over here, we feel like being a man means we can't talk. We have to swallow everything, to chest everything, keep it inside. When I was young, they used to ask me what...
So this is heavy, right? I was actually on Twitter. I was just in, they actually had MI and a few other people who were talking in one of the group chats on Twitter about mental health in Nigeria specifically, about exactly what they're talking about right here, about how a lot of times there's still this stigma for men about not being able to open up, not being able to like the idea of going to talk to a therapist sounds fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I like that they're addressing this. You have people who are respected. You have people who are fucking talented that aren't considered gimmicky or like industry plants or anything like that, who are willing to have this type of shit on a track and open up about it. I am a huge mental health advocate, specifically in music. Some of my favorite music of all time stems from like the mood music series, where you're talking about your own personal flaws, your own personal relationships, the mental shit that you be going through and shit like that. That's probably my favorite bag hip-hop wise to jump in. So just hearing this intro, it's ironic. It was only a couple days ago that I was just in that group chat and listening to them talk about this, and then to hear this here now as well, like that's dope.
I think we realize what this crazy place does to our psyche, man, you know? Like, and we don't even have any outlets to talk. Over here, we feel like being a man means we can't talk. We have to swallow everything, to chest everything, keep it inside.
Facts.
When I was young, they used to ask me, what are you doing in the kitchen? Oh, guy, why are you crying? Are you a child? Are you a baby? That's real stuff they used to tell us. So you grow up thinking you can't talk to anybody, you can't be vulnerable, you can't express yourself to anyone. And in this crazy jungle that we live in again, this mad type of society where you really need to talk, you need to find ways to express, to open up emotionally. You know, they view that as some kind of weakness. It's mad.
Classic. The intro into the beautiful voice with the runt, like this is smooth so far. This is fire. So I don't even know what she's saying fully, but it just sounds beautiful. This shit is fire.
You hide and I seek to find the reason why you let yourself go, babe. Oh, elewa, what it? Oh, elewa, what it? Oh, elewa, what it? Take you on a journey. Oh, elewa, what it? Take you
Are you not supposed to be a man? Why you crying? I don't understand. Sure you need someone to hold your hand. I buried thoughts of being vulnerable beneath the sands. She asking questions that's exposing all my inner scams. I feel like letting go, make her open up. Previous babes done, they wonder why I'm slow to trust. I put my feelings in the chamber, then I load it up. But I never shoot, it's like we fear the truth. She trying to take me on a journey.
The follow-up is like we fear the truth right there was heavy. That was heavy. I like this. This is my shit. So I'm not gonna lie. I might be biased. This is my shit. Yo, this is a safe space, motherfuckers. Leave a comment down below of some shit that made you want to cry. Be vulnerable, right? I cried the last 2 minutes of every Scrubs episode. I'm not one of those men that are afraid to cry because my gangster is like solidified. I don't have to worry about shit. I'm gonna be me. I never give a fuck what no one else thought about it. I'm an emotional person. I'm a Taurus. We get upset a lot. You know what I'm saying? I fall in love every other Thursday. That's just the way that it is. Such a cop-out, right? Yeah, leave some shit, man. Show support for each other down in the comments. I'm gonna show y'all love. This is a safe space. I like this shit, man. This is dope.
Asking questions that's exposing all my inner scams. I feel like letting go, make her open up. Previous babes done, they wonder why I'm slow to trust. I put my feelings in the chamber, then I load it up. But I never shoot, it's like we fear the truth. She trying to take me on a journey and I know they fight. It's like she's taking me to market where I know they price. Cause I'm hoping that she'll save me from my own advice. She keeps telling me to take a chance and roll the dice. But this is life, always feeling like there's something more. Always asking Wale, what is it you running for? My uncle told me you should always make them love you more. Now I know that he was scared and it's not his fault, not at all.
I like that. I like that verse. It's generational too. Like the way that he points that out too. Like, yo, I was given this bad advice from my uncle, but like I know that it's because he was given that advice too. Like it's generational. It's cultural. It's yo, this is dope. This is dope. I hope y'all like this shit. Don't be in here hating on this. I swear to God, there's so many people who are just like too cool to be human. It's so weird. Like it's gotta be like you can't be gangster 24/7. You can't wake up mad at breakfast. Like I don't get it, man. Some people are so afraid to just be alive, to just feel shit, man. And it is. It has a lot to do with culture. This is a great talk piece. I mean, I don't want, like, I want to go and actually, like, listen to it. I don't want to, like, get on my soapbox and shit like that. But this is a great conversation piece. This is, like, a good one to, like, bring up on the podcast and, like, really, really dig into. When did this come out? This is recent, too. 2019, this was uploaded.
Roll the dice, but this is life, always feeling like there's something more. Always asking Wale, what is it you running for? My uncle told me you should always make them love you more. Now I know that he was scared and it's not his fault, not at all.
I got something else to say, something else to say. You come with me, let's play a game where you hide and I seek to find the meaning. Why you always show me the way you go?
Somebody put the lyrics down in the comments for me too for this hook. I know I'm not catching it. I'm not sure if it's a language barrier or what, but like I need to know what she's saying. This is a vibe.
To find the reason why you let yourself go, babe. Oh, what it?
Runs. So I'm digging deep on this too. Now you got rapper mind like going and going and going too. There's something to be said about not only are they opening up their feelings and emotions on this topic on a track, right? But they have a woman that's on the track with them, because a lot of it is not only are we afraid to like express ourselves and our feelings, but a lot of times we don't do it in front of women because that whole toxic masculinity idea too. So like the fact that these are the words, and these are the verses and schemes that they're choosing to do, and they're choosing to feature a female on there as well, because a lot of that tension isn't just cultural and coming from my uncle or my father, nothing like that. A lot of it has to do with like, yo, maybe I opened up to a woman in a relationship at sometimes, and she ended up using it against me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that, like, there's a lot of reasons that men clam up. And there's some of it is anecdotal, some of it has validity to it. But like, now that I'm thinking about this, and she's like killing these runs on the hook and shit, I know I said I was gonna get off my soapbox. Fuck you, it's my channel. I'm gonna break it down as much as I want. But like, this shit is like, this is nice. Like, cohesion here. We talk about being cohesive. Like, this is really fucking dope.
Take you on a journey.
If you're listening, it might be too late. You're probably a victim of conditioning in 2 days to wake and smell the bouquet. Still you try to rise from grass to grace as if you're two-faced. Weight of the world up on your shoulders as you start a new day. I make a mental Polaroid, bumping bridges, Lupe as foundations built on quicksand, submerged under monsoon rains. And these days, stormy seasons last a little longer, spending more time in traffic than I do reading to my daughter. But I must be strong, cause it hasn't killed me yet. In this place where you're here one day and could be gone the next. Swear that Hotiba's episode struck a chord in my chest. If you're living here in Nigeria, you're some form of depressed. Yeah, you heard correct. It's no wonder how we managed to be more concerned with if Wiz is dating Tiwa Savage than the interior decorations of our mental palace. The stress is post-traumatic. I pray my...
It's no wonder you're more concerned about celebrity relationships than the interior decorations of your mental palace. What?
Yeah, there's some form of depressed. Yeah, you heard correct. It's no wonder how we managed to be more concerned with if Wiz is dating Tiwa Savage than the interior decorations of our mental palace. The stress is post-traumatic. I pray my son doesn't catch it, but
I got something else to say, something else to say.
That was fucking heavy.
You come with me to play a game where you hide and I seek to find the meaning. Why you won't show me the way? You hide and I seek to find the reason. Why you won't let yourself go, babe? Oh, really, what it? Oh, really, what it? Oh, really, what it? Take you on a journey. Oh, really, what it? Take you on.
Oh my god, into the distortion. Yo, this shit is fucking perfect. Yo, like, this is, so now what this is, now you're talking about sonics, right? Like how it sounds sonically and shit like that. When it comes down to the music theory, this is like that super dark room music vibe where they've given you a lot of content, a lot of message, and now you just get that kind of same underwater distortion on the thing to like sit back and just like really fall inside yourself, right? It gives you that submerged feeling, right? Listen to it. It even sounds like you go underwater. Like, that's like the purpose of the... Bro, this is fucking...
Oh, really, what it? Oh, really, what it? Take you on a journey. Oh, really, what it? Take you on.
That's how you end the fucking track. So here's my thing. If the talking in the beginning worked because of the theme of this, right? If they'd have went to talking again for the last minute before they cut it off, I probably would have been turned off by that. This whole let me fade to black and like give you that drowning sensation to get lost in your thought about the shit that we just dropped, that was a perfect way to end this. Drop your comments right now. Come on, before I start breaking it down, let me know. Would you give this out of 10? How would we normally break this down, right? Lyrics, completely on theme. from the samples that were used, like the talking in the beginning and everything like that. Both verses, you guys are going to have to tell me about the hook. I'm going to assume that the hook was on point as well. There's nothing that I would change as far as that goes. Musically, the music theory was completely on point from beginning to finish. Nothing felt jarring or out of place or really took me out of the vibe. Everything was 100% cohesive. Sound quality, mixing, didn't sound like anybody melded verses. Everything sounded present. This was perfect. This was perfect. I like hip-hop with a good message. I like hip-hop that is socially aware. I like rappers who have a kind of like hard exterior image but are still willing to like show their vulnerability to both their fan base, talking about their kids and the generation. Like, come on, man. This is a 10 out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10. I might like this more than Savage. Savage is probably a harder song, but this one might be better cohesively as far as like an album goes. Like, this was a 10 out of 10. That was fucking dope. That was fucking dope. Alright, let's go. Shadow of a Doubt. How the fuck are you gonna follow that? They keep setting the bar higher. This is a dope tape so far.
What it feels like to have your entire belief system overload with skepticism. To never know the day that you would finally be able to live beyond the shadow of a doubt I've lived in its darkness for so long. It seems like I have all the right questions, but never enough answers, and my faith is small enough to fit in the cracks of my palms, God.
So this is probably heavier because they're from Nigeria, right? Like religion and faith and stuff like that is, I think, a lot more prominent in the culture over there. Not to say that it's not elsewhere, like in the U.S. and shit like that, but like I don't feel like it's a norm in our society to have it jammed down my throat. We got like pockets, you know what I'm saying? Like there are pockets of people who are zealously religious and shit like that, but I don't really feel like it's like a major essential part of our fabric. We have people who are religious, and we have, like, I came up with 12 years of Catholic schooling and shit like that, but it's not like, I don't know, I've never felt like it's necessarily like ingrained in me because of that, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're willing to do this, given the climate that they're in, I feel like might have a little bit more heft than maybe I'm able to give it credit for over here.
Like I have all the right questions, but never enough answers, and my faith is small enough to fit in the cracks of my palms, God. Every night I lay my head down to sleep. The city of my mind is attacked by a legion of questions, threatening the living rooms of my sanity and holding me hostage. Can you help me? Help me. I feel the storms. I put it on. Can you help me? I feel the storms.
Bright lights, guy, put it on. Stardom's close, I feel the storms. But how can I elevate myself when my immediate environment's looking quite deformed? My bond told me Wally there's a guy code. Blind babes make dough and just lie low. If not, niggas turn you to a psycho. While I feel he just told me live fast to die slow. And I smoke, then I float, then I walk on tight ropes. It's Niger, sometimes hopeless, sometimes we might grow. Fat lady singing.
Bring it back. Yo, he took off.
Can you help me?
Bright lights, guy, put it on. Stardom's close, I feel the storms. But how can I elevate myself when my immediate environment's looking quite deformed? My bond told me Wally there's a guy code. Blind babes make dough and just lie low. If not, niggas turn you to a psycho. While I feel he just told me live fast to die slow. And I smoke, then I float, then I walk on tight ropes. It's Niger, sometimes hopeless, sometimes we might grow. Fat lady singing but won't hit them high notes. I'm like, bro, it's like we just stuck in a cycle. My guy did vex, he had triplets. Hasn't even finished setting up his business. Meanwhile, they giving Yash out for Christmas. These babes are not playing, man, check the statistics. Hold out here in these streets.
You can't shoot me when you know that I'm out. You can't move me if you know that I'm not there now. You're hiding in a closet of lies, and you're stuck behind a shadow of doubt.
Alright, so I liked it rap-wise. Rap-wise, first verse was 100% on point. Thematically, it was light. I feel like that you went real heavy on the intro. Real heavy on the intro. And like, I get it, like, yo, like, I can see that, you know, I'm about to become a star, but it's hard to really feel like I'm elevating when I'm still trapped in the hood and I'm seeing this all around me. Like, I get it. I get the imagery. I feel like it was a better rap verse than it was like a concept track verse. Like the intro leads you to believe this is going to be a concept track. The intro lays the theme on hard. We're questioning everything around us. I have doubts. I have way more questions than I have answers, so on and so forth. I didn't get that from the verse. The verse, it felt light on the theme. Now, he was floating. He was floating on the fucking beat. The rhyme scheme was there. I had to bring it back. He was killing the shit. But like there seems like there might have been a slight disconnect between the intro and the verse.
What's our purpose on this earth? Are we free or are we slaves? Destiny and destination, are they different or the same? If God knows every move before I even choose a lane, do I have free will? Does my future alternate?
See, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Using 10% of their brains, how can I be out of my mind and still be insane? Why don't all African countries unite? Make peace, why we call that shit freedom knowing that it's not free? Who sending subliminal messages on my TV? Are these economic systems just a form of slavery? With all of this information, how does one pick out the truth? Why's the whole world obsessed with power and making loot? Okay, we export, or how about our refineries? Are we married to corruption or is it like a disease? If the answer is the latter, then does someone know the cure? Should we use the word holy in conjunction with the war? What's good? What?
Yeah, see, like this shits on the first verse thematically entirely. I'm very all over the place now. I would pick this apart. I'm gonna finish it out. I'm gonna put my thoughts together at the end. I feel like give me this verse, give me the intro, take the hook out, take the first verse out, use the hook and the first verse on a different track. He's handling this shit on his own.
Bad, what's evil, what's pure, how do I free my mind, my emotions and my thoughts? How come sometimes I get the feeling that I've been here before? These are just a few questions that be troubling your boy, you know.
The election is over. Declare me winner. It's time to rule. Ibrahim is the president.
Again, you don't need the long intro and then follow it up with a long outro.
The local government, and they are taking us to court.
You can't shoot me when you know that I'm out. You can't move me if you know that I'm not there now. You're hiding in a closet of lies, and you're stuck behind a shadow of doubt.
Alright. Drop your scores down in the comments below. Let's break it down. Alright. This one's going to score low. I liked things that it did a lot. Alright? Give me the intro. Give me Ghost verse. And that's the track. Take the outro out. Take the hook out. Take the first verse out. And you got yourself a solid concept track. First verse, he did the thing. He was rapping. He floated on that. Hook doesn't fit with the rest of it. Not like thematic, like she did the Shadow of the Doubt. It doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound like a good music track. This isn't a good song sonically. It's a bad song. But as far as like making you question shit and like what I think the purpose of the heart and essence of the song was based on the intro, I think you'd have to pick this apart. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. It's super not cohesive. It's not sonically pleasing, and in order to get to the part, like there's a lot of fluff around the good shit that it does to pull it out of. I think that you could dissect this and get some dope shit out of it, but in its current iteration, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. Epigenics. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie. I looked up what this was because I wanted to not look like a fucking idiot when I go to explain it to you guys and when this came up. After looking it up, I still don't fucking understand it. But I'm going to break it down to you the way that I understood it because I did the research for you, right? So basically, epigenetics has to do with a change in the DNA. Now, there's two types of changes for the purpose of me explaining this. You have a change in the DNA that results from an actual change in the genetic code. Your actual genetic code being altered, and that's what causes a change. That's not what we're talking about. Then there's the change in your DNA that it results from outside influences or sources that don't result as a change to the genetic code. So the genetic code does not change, however, or the DNA like does not change, or see, I got fucked up. The genetic code and the DNA doesn't change, but it like there's like an evolution. There's like an outside source, but the actual code doesn't change. So that is what epigenetics is. I hope that helped. I mean, I did my best. I'm telling you right now, I don't fully understand it. Here's how I think this is gonna relate to the song. Again, I haven't heard this yet. Hip hop wise, I kind of feels like it's like, yo, it's got like an evolution vibe to it, right? Like, yo, like when you put me on a track with people that are dope, like my genetics and shit like that, like I'm going to elevate, I'm going to become the best, I'm going to adapt to my surroundings and shit like that. That's how I took this when I was reading the definition, trying to figure out how that's gonna fit into hip hop, right? Alternatively, it could be a conscious track, right? Because it could have to be like, yo, like I'm from the hood, I'm from some place that's tough. The nature versus nurture argument, right? Like my surroundings and shit made me harder. My DNA hasn't changed, but who I am as a person is changing because of my environment, right? That could be a heavy concept track. Those are the two things that I came up with. I don't know if any of that is going to be even remotely close to what this is about, but fun conversation pieces. What are your thoughts? What did you think when you saw this? Did you ever take the time to look it up? Did this invoke any kind of thought from you? This is good conversations to have. Let's go. Epigenetics. Let's get it.
OZ, SDC. This one's for the forefathers.
Ever felt like you're in a low budget Hollywood flick and it's a crash scene? And now you're version of Groundhog Day and you're stuck in this reoccurring bad dream. Woo! I saw my country's a cocktail of absinthe, codeine and caffeine. Bartender said there's 4 more shots. There's generational trauma going on here. And like karma, the bitch won't stop. My friend called, said, bro, I'm moving back from Jan. For his mind, contract with just land, oh boy. 6 months later, Baba run back. Said this bitch not one chance, oh boy. Used to be a fine bitch, you don't cast. Too much mileage on that ass, oh boy. Shade what you can get a husband. A rich one to give you some assurance, oh boy. Yahoo boy say he don't be job last. Why fine?
So this is definitely heavy cultural.
The computer on his lap, oh boy. My guy don't pay, make me run mad. We go carry all the champagne, hot, oh boy. I beg a bogey, I'm on the dollars. We go sell them to you 385, oh boy. Cap that, wait till forest comes down. Yeah, shout out my bad shop guys, oh boy. Something just happened right now. On my side, lay the nigga out flat, oh boy. I turned up and seen people run down. It's messed up, but I don't see no one react, oh boy. Music critics saying, give me substance. I beg, yo, who that want F, oh boy. Give me beats to make the bass drop, yash. Sharika Shakuzaku all over the track, oh boy. Ever felt like you're in a low budget Hollywood flick and it's a crash scene? And now
this is heavy. There's a lot of heavy stuff here. Slight, I don't know, like the accent may be a little bit thick or slight language barrier to where I'm not able to pull maybe 100% out throughout the entire time. But as far as music theory wise goes, he floated throughout that entire thing. And like we were talking about before about how the other track didn't necessarily feel, Shadow of a Doubt didn't feel like a good song sonically. This moves. This like, it gets you in the fucking bag. He found the pocket. He just crushed it. The parts that you are able to extrapolate, or for me at least, definitely have heavy cultural vibes about, you know, like expectations of society and shit like that on an individual, and then just the way that you view, I get specifically Nigeria in this instance, like, and like the intro comparing it to the Hollywood scenes and shit like that. Like, this feels like a super heavy, thought-provoking track so far, but it also kind of, I don't want to say bops, but it does. It floats really well. You know what I'm saying?
all day, you're just stuck in this reoccurring bad dream. I saw my country's a cocktail of absinthe, codeine and caffeine. Bartender said there's 4 more shots. There's generational trauma going on here, and like karma, the bitch won't stop.
I remember when I told my white friends that I seen a man rap with a tie, burnt alive when I was 5. They looked at me with sadness in their eyes. One of my co-workers slowly started to cry. what's going on? I didn't realize anything was wrong. I mean, we all just slowly move along with our days. Went to school, another memory that I calmly put away. Like, Momsy asked me, Wale, what's your day like? Think I told about the rest. Whole country got post-traumatic stress. Africa's giant man, say we your chest. Imagine one day director shouts cut, and they switch the lights off.
Yo, yeah, this is heavy shit. This is that whole concept of like, I go and talk about some shit that I seen, like the stark difference between, again, we talked about it before, like the nature versus nurture, about how I feel like this might play into it based on the name of the song. You're gonna, some shit that you're used to going through because of the surroundings you grow up in, and you become so jaded by it. You normalize it. It's so routine in your mind that you don't realize how fucking sick it is to be normalized in your society. And you tell it to somebody who is outside of the direct influence of that culture, and it's like they look at you like you're fucking out of your mind. Yeah, that's heavy.
Realized this was all a joke. I could only live in hope. Make them throw the whole country away now, so we can hit reset on the way down. And we can lift the hex that they place around our necks and the stress we escaping when we lay down. I'm thinking, how do we grow? Will we ever get a chance to reload? I know some people really chopping off the KO, but karma is a dish served cold.
One for the money, two for the show, three for my people at home. Somehow we gotta make it legally legal or both. I'm at the fork in the road, I took a different approach. All
You sound like Wale.
There's no light, don't see a big in the hole. Pitch black, got to the end of the tunnel and it was pitch black. Should've just done what I wanted and hit a lick fast. Little good boy, now a nigga big bad. Yeah, nigga big bad. And pissed off, if you can't do it by the book, then what you read for? My homie quit his job, became a cheap boy. 3 months later, Baba don't buy Porsche. Small boy, big gun, talk less, win more. Hey, and I pray I'm forgiven for my sins, Lord. We're just living out this Nollywood dream. Bad guys don't die, the man with the money wins. Manacles on my mental, they don't want you to think. If you don't move an inch, your prayer won't do a thing. Something about to happen, yo, it's always on the brink. When you in the jungle, no, it's all about the green, white, green. Freedom ain't free is what it seems. We collect cash, check a melamine. You better be a friend of the regime.
Ever felt like you're in a low budget Nollywood flick and it's a grab scene?
Dead and you're stuck in this reoccurring bastard. I saw my conscience a cocktail of absinthe, codeine and caffeine. Bartenders in this 4 more shots. This generational trauma going on here. Like calm and the bitch won't stop.
That was a lot. It was a lot. Alright, do the thing. 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 I'm very curious to see how you guys rate this. The more conscious the song, the more relevant that it is, the harder that it is to give like an objective opinion, right? Because the heaviness of the message, you never want to slight, you never want to take away from it. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting. I'm not sure how I'm scoring this yet. I'm trying to work it out in my head. Lyrically, thematically, it was 100% on point from beginning to end, right? Music theory wise, the hook felt like it was a little forced. Maybe I would have had Ozone do it because his voice is so much different that from like a congruent music theory wise, it may have made more sense to have the tone of his voice separate the other verses as opposed to coming in on the end. So I don't think music theory wise it was perfect. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think the things that it did really, really well, it did really, really well. And the things that I may have changed may be more about like position wise within the track, maybe more about like artistic direction and engineering than it was necessarily about the actual song itself. And it did move too. It has that kind of good rhythm to it. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is my score. Let me know, what are your comments on this one? Because this is a heavy one, so these ones are a little bit harder to critique and judge. It's definitely got playlist material going on to it. It was dope though. 8 out of 10. Last one up. Last one for this video. Show them camp packaging. Let's get it.
this right now. This guy don't even want to hear anything. This guy, what? This guy, we're going out tonight, man. This guy, we have to watch this stuff, man. This guy, that running mad. Do you hear what they are doing? Classic.
My homeboy just bought a new whip. Gotta wash that bitch like splatter. Anytime I say wash on my day one, niggas like scammer.
It's such a weird artistic. I was just thinking in my head, like, how are you gonna follow that up? You just made the tone so deep and so serious on the track. What's the move now? You double down on it, and now it seems like this sounds like way more levity to it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is supposed to break the tension.
Born shorty last quick, where you going to with that, yeah?
Can I help you?
No, baby, now me won't help you. My number, dial 1,000,000.1 with the blood catchy, it's fine. Ever seen a black man living his dream? That's me, nigga, right now. I come alive in the nighttime, nocturnal as a white eye. Got that blue pill flow for you, all you gotta do is write down. Baby, take it all in, come see the other side of my town, where the rent costs an arm and a leg. Round here, you ain't gotta stop for the feds. Every time Dick and his mom's a celeb, I bet we packaging, don't blame me, dude. Look what society made me do. Got no choice as a lazy youth, but the scam niggas with this Mercedes coupe and just...
See this guy, basically, what I'm gonna do for a guy now, your guy, you have to learn that skill first. See those bouncers there, this is what I always bouncing guys. You have to enter there with pants and vest now. Let me see those bounce guys now, they are mad.
Yeah, let me tell you about wash and sets. In this Lagos, if you try for the person, you'll be lost, I swear. Better shine your eyes, realize it is not by flex. Cause some guys with the flex hollow less than you guys, yes.
This guy begs, snap on self next to these bands, I beg.
No dope, but we package up. Even God must be tired of us. I know a guy asks for one Red Bull every time we see him inside the club. In his pocket, another $1,000, but his fresh kaftan, I'm more live as fuck. Man, I stopped going out for 2 years, came back, and the guy was still inside the club, still. Blaming babes like a big dog. When they see sin I watch, they be pissed off. I know a pie never left this land, but I phone them, man, too impressive, fam, gang. Made me just sit down like, let me clock this scam. So with all this wash, if I know fish swim, guys might just drown them. What you trying to get into? Trying not to laugh, not trying to offend you. Trying to yank guys all the places you've been to. With talent like that, you supposedly on tinsel. I just vex like one lie your father. Ask her where she lives, said he ain't a paja. I was weak.
There's so much cultural stuff in here. Most of this is going over my head. I get the idea, right? Definitely sounds like they're more like, yo, like living the scammer life or stuff like that tends to be the way to get the more finer things. Like I get what I think is the overarching concept, but there's a lot of stuff on this that you guys are gonna have to break down to me. Like for me personally, this is gonna be probably a miss. It sounds like it's more of a storytelling track. Number one, storytelling music, in my opinion, usually doesn't have like a lot of replayability. Like once you've heard it, like this is just preference. This is not like overarching, but like this is like in my opinion, right? This one's kind of a miss for me so far because a lot of it is just I just don't understand a lot of it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like it sounds like specific references and shit like this that you guys will have to break down for me.
Shit, that was deep. My homegirl went from Taxified to pushing a new range in a week. Almost said that kitty sweet, and you are what you eat. Man, she blew me a kiss as she zoomed off. These Buhari times peak.
These Buhari times are deep, my guy. So basically, as a lazy youth, man, you gotta have to package the stuff. So basically now, this guy, let me tell you the package now. We'll go and block this guy. You know, it's my Forbes guy. Shout out this guy. Just the guy that basically organize one meeting. Now in the meeting now, we'll just take one.
I hate this.
Big booty babe stuff now. Take her to the meeting now. All those old guys now will be mesmerized by the booty. You understand? When they're asking questions, they're not asking, who's that babe now? Listen, they have to go through guys for the link up. You understand? Packaging, bro.
He's given the scam rundowns.
All day, every day, this guy, they will not even know what I want. All they will know is that
this is like how to set someone up 101.
The one collecting that dude shot. Yeah. Buhari time. Feel like sleep. If you like sleep, my nigga, that's like grubbing.
Yeah, like for me, this is absolutely zero replayability. All right. Last one up, drop your scores, drop your scores, drop your scores. This one's a miss for me. Maybe you guys will enlighten me in the comments and change my opinion. I don't like the talking through it. It definitely felt like more of like a gimmick skit kind of. Like I said, I think this was meant to make you laugh or something like that and break the seriousness between the last track and what the next track is going to be. I have no interest in re-listening to this again, to be honest with you. I give it like a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. They did float a little bit, and if you like storytelling tracks and shit like that, I can definitely see you getting some type of value extrapolated from it, but for me, it was basically a miss. 3 out of 10 is my score. There you have it. 6 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 3 out of 10. We're not doing bad. We're not doing bad so far. Let me know how you guys liked it. Talk to me below the comments up on this. The sooner you do, the sooner you guys will get the second half of this. My energy is running very, very low right now. I am deteriorating. I don't feel well. So I'm not going to upload the second half of this tonight. Hopefully I'll get it out to you guys very, very soon though. Maybe tomorrow if you guys run the numbers up on this and just blow the comments up. Let me know this is something you guys are interested in. You guys are fucking with this. And yeah, we'll go from there. As for right now, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all on the next one. Let's go. I want to see some scores down in the comments, man. Talk to me.